What's going on, guys? It's Adam P, and welcome back to more Newcastle transfer news. Tomorrow is transfer deadline day. By the time we're recording this video, 24 hours left. 24 hours until we know the answer to the question that has been surrounding Newcastle for months on end. Will Alexander Isak join Liverpool tomorrow, or will the club force him to stay despite the player saying he never wants to play for Newcastle United again? What is going to happen? We are here in this video to get through it all. If you guys are new around here, of course, get down there, hit that subscribe button, join the journey, and make sure you are subscribed, because tomorrow, as I said, huge day in Newcastle's takeover, huge day for Newcastle's ownership to be able to show control or to be able to make a record-breaking profit sale on a player who doesn't want to be here. Guys, let's just get through Alexander Isak first, because we know all the noise is going to be on him tomorrow. All the noise has already been on him for months now. And tomorrow is his final chance this summer to get out of Newcastle now. And just to explain on his whereabouts, I've heard from these Hawking opposition journalists, I've heard from people that I don't know an awful lot about, claim that Isak's been out away waiting for the Liverpool move. He hasn't been in Newcastle. He's been away sorting his Liverpool move out. It's rubbish. It is rubbish straight away. It has been confirmed by barbers in Newcastle within the last hour that Isak today has had a fresh trim. Now, I would actually argue that is also a good thing for Liverpool fans, by the way, watching this video, because fresh trim, he's ready for the potential move tomorrow. He wants to look good for the media. He wants to look good for the cameras. Him going off to Liverpool tomorrow, fresh trim, is going to look the best we possibly can do going into Liverpool move. And I would also say it's a positive for Newcastle, because you've had so many media reports and so much crap coming out and saying that Isak's not in Newcastle, he hasn't been in Newcastle, he's far away from Newcastle now, he wants to move on, forget about it. He's still here. He still has it in the back of his mind. He still is on our soil, and he still is amongst Newcastle United, even though he doesn't want to be. And it's going to be intriguing to see how this is going to go tomorrow. Now, it's been reported that Liverpool is intentionally waiting out to the last possible moment to throw a bid in, because they want our rejection to be so late into the transfer window that if we reject the bid, that's it. We can't do anything else. So Liverpool tomorrow will throw a bid at Alexander Isak, and that bid is intentionally done to put pressure on Newcastle. If we reject that bid tomorrow, he stays. That is the answer that the ownership will have. How much money will be on the table? It sounds like £120 million. That's the impression journalists are giving out. Liverpool's valuation, what they stuck down last month, it sounds like it's going to be basically the same amount again. Liverpool want the player. Liverpool doesn't need the player. And that's been the message from Liverpool. They've been clear this summer. We've signed Ekitike. We've had a lot of unbelievable signs already. They do want Alexander Isak, and they're prepared to put down £120 million, but that is still £30 million of Newcastle's valuation, £150 million. We said one or two things this summer. We said Isak would either be sold for £150 million, or Isak would be sold if two strikers came in. One's in so far. Johan Wissa currently looks off now. Brentford stuck his valuation up to £65 million. Heard nothing about Strand Larson today. He's a player that's still floating around in the background. Rosa just replaced him as well. So if Newcastle is desperate, Newcastle will really want to sign Strand Larson. The net seems open tomorrow. It will cost an extreme amount of money, but the opportunity is there for Newcastle to do it if they want to, and that's a big if, because especially how this summer has been, I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle's still going to try and keep Isak nailed down, especially for the image of the takeover and just being able to show to different football clubs what it's like to play for Newcastle. If you've got a player that's in here, you see new signs coming to Newcastle that all describe Newcastle as being a family club. And I think especially the PR side of things, Newcastle's been quite big in describing our club as a family. So if Isak leaving that family, it makes him look awful. And I think Newcastle's intentionally done that to, of course, unite the players now, unite the fans together, but also to kind of have the black sheep of the family, you could say, just having Isak away from the rest of the flock. And Isak's the bad egg of the bunch. He's there, he's causing a problem. He's someone that's not helping the team now. They've got to cut him loose. And that's kind of the indication the club's given out. If I had to tell you my honest opinion now, I still think it's more likely he leaves tomorrow. I don't think it's impossible, and I would still say there's actually a decent chance he stays. If I had to put the scales down, I think the scales goes into Liverpool's favour. I just think Liverpool enticed the player so much to join that this player, even if he was to do the unthinkable, window closes and he refuses to play with Sweden, he's still getting 5 or 6 games with Sweden before January. And when you tell Isak that, 5 or 6 matches, is that bad for the player? I still think that's an okay amount of games for a player. I honestly feel like he's kind of got some leverage to be able to wait it out until January and to do us all again in January. But for the player, honestly, let's just sort this out. Whatever's going to happen tomorrow, let's just sort this out. If we can't sign that second striker, we've got to keep him. Has to be 2 strikers. If we don't do that, he stays, because ideally nothing changed in the grand scheme of things if Isak goes tomorrow and then that striker doesn't come in. I know we signed Rick Multimer, but we lost Callum Wilson last summer. Obviously, Nick Multimer is a massive upgrade in him. But you're still basically letting 2 strikers go, one comes in. That just isn't good for Newcastle. And I know the striker we've signed is, again, a lot better than Callum Wilson, but you need a second striker in there. Has to be a second striker. If we don't get that second striker, I honestly think we can't sell him. I am big on it. I think Newcastle has all these possibilities and we can't do any of them, but it has to be 2 strikers or Isak stays. I feel like we need to be that strong on it. We had to be prepared to keep this guy, and that is already the guy, by the way, who's costed potentially 7 points this season. Newcastle have obviously been disrupted by the striker situation. Had a striker for 3 games and it's already damaged us on the pitch and off the pitch. We have to be prepared to go all the way. Liverpool off that transfer value last month. We could have sold them last month for £120 million. We could have had these matches now with a striker in there. We could have had the calm. We could have had all the messages. We could have had all the noise out of the way. But instead, the noise is here and now. And the noise has been here all summer because Newcastle has been persistent and they've stuck with it. They have to do that one more day. They've been prepared to keep Isak through all this drama. They have to be prepared to go all the way with it. In my personal opinion, 2 strikers all he stays. It has to be firm in Newcastle. It has to be strong on this stance. It's a huge moment in this football club. It's a huge moment for this ownership. What is the club prepared to do, and what measures and what lengths will it do to keep a hold of Alexander Isak? I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what happens. It's a big day tomorrow. Could still be a big day today. It's one of them moments where there's so much noise going on. There's so much happening in such a short period of time. You blink, you miss something. Newcastle has to be firm. We have to be strong. And we have to make sure the club looks good no matter what happens in the next 24 hours. That's about it. That's all I can say coming out from this video. We either sign Wissa, we sign Larson, or we keep Isak. One of those 3 things that happen. I think if you sell Isak and don't bring anyone in, you really have shot yourself in the foot. So Newcastle would have to sign one of Larson, one of Wissa. Otherwise, I don't think we can conduct that sale, and that's my personal opinion on it. Liverpool fans watching this video, they still haven't signed Mark Gay yet. And if you had the chance now, the next 24 hours, would you prioritise signing Isak or prioritise signing Mark Gay? You have to pick Mark Gay. Surely you pick the centre-half, especially looking at Liverpool this season. Your attack is easily good enough to win the league title, but a team that has been leaking goals, a team that hasn't just been conceding goals, but self-inflicted goals as well, goals that are preventable and goals that, with a better centre-half, they could sort it out. Konate is not great. Mark Gay in there alongside Van Dijk, they've got a cracking back line. So in their best interest, I still feel like Liverpool need to prioritise Mark Gay, and I wouldn't say for them Isak wouldn't join him in January, wouldn't join next summer. Of course he would. I think Isak would always join him. He's basically on his knees begging to join Liverpool now. So what's stopping Liverpool from coming back in 3 months? I don't think there is anything stopping them from coming back in 3 months now. Again, we look at it logically. There's still not an awful lot of intent from Liverpool to sign Isak. They put 1 bid in there and that's it. Everything else has been noise. They put 1 bid at £120 million, walked away because Newcastle had such a strong no response that Liverpool didn't feel like come back in. And it'll be the same again tomorrow. It'll be not a half-arsed bid, but it'll certainly be a bid where Liverpool just like, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Like Liverpool just seem to be content enough to try to look, to try and take advantage of a situation, but they won't go all in. They're not going to go all in. Of course they're not. £150 million, they're never going to spend that. I reckon it will cost 135 to bring Isak in. I reckon they've put that money down, they'll sign him. I reckon it has to be over £130 million. Will Liverpool be prepared to bump up and sign him? I don't know. I honestly don't know. From what I've heard in social media, my impression looking in Liverpool, they don't seem that arsed, I would say. They're not desperate enough to go in for Isak and to spend stupid money. They're desperate enough where they need a striker and they need to sign someone ID in their point of view. Nothing's stopping them from signing someone else. There's nothing stopping them from signing a lesser striker for now and getting Isak at a different time. Of course there's not. Isak is brilliant. The front three is brilliant. They just need to solidify that defence and get some squad depth in. But they do that, they're easily going to win the Premier League title. Now, look at the situation now. I don't think Isak has the control he thinks he has. I think Isak has some control and of course he's refused to play, refused to train. But there's still not much stopping Newcastle from putting that foot down other than the price tag. The price tag's the one thing that's keeping Newcastle from actually being able just to keep the player locked in. He's such an expensive, sellable asset. That is the reason why Newcastle's even in this talk. It's the reason why he has a decent chance of going to Liverpool tomorrow. That value and the money you get from a player who's not playing for Newcastle, huge. Huge PSR money, huge FFP money, huge profit money that goes back into the football club, and you are taking out the bag end of the bunch. So Newcastle has that going for him. But that's about it. I think Newcastle still can sort this out. I think, even though I may sound delusional at the minute, I still think Newcastle has to be strong enough. I honestly think we do. I come out of this video, I'm always fair towards Liverpool fans, and I tend to be someone who goes back and forth in the situation. At the Leeds game yesterday, I heard all the fans say all the nasty things about Isak, and that properly peeved me off about that player. Fans clearly had enough for him, the players have had enough for him, the teams had enough for him. They don't deserve that. None of those people yesterday deserve that. None of the staff members deserve it. None of the players deserve it. None of the supporters deserve it. And that peeves me off so much. It does my head in. And I don't think we can let Isak and his agent get away with it. And that's why I've got, I guess, a bit of pride, a bit of ego towards it. But he walks off of Liverpool, he's rubbing his hands, he'll be laughing, his agent, they'll be handshaking, buzzing with themselves. You can't let them get away with it. It's like robbing a bank and going away and bragging about it. You can't let them do it. You've got to force him down. You've got to keep him there. And Newcastle didn't get that second strike. I think we've got to keep him there. I honestly think we do. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Big day. A lot's going to happen. A lot's going to either go against us or go in our favour. I'm looking forward to it though. Newcastle, massive day. Be strong, be proud, and no matter what happens, we'll support you all the way. Well, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Massive day tomorrow. Stay active during the day. Enjoy it, and make sure we look good coming out of this.